Matt sells two items for rupees 4800 each. In one deal, he earns a profit of 25%, and in the other, he suffers a loss of 20%. Find the profit or loss percentage in the whole deal. So here, let's say this is the selling price. So this is selling price 1 and selling price 2, because both the items are sold at the same price, which is 4800 each. So this is 4800. Now in the first deal, he earns a profit. So when he earns a profit, what that implies is that he's selling for more than what he bought it for. So his cost price is smaller than his selling price. So the first deal, let's say the cost price is here, and this is 25%. So this is CP1, and this is 25% of CP1. Now in the second deal, he suffers a loss of 20%. So loss means that the cost price is higher than the selling price, or in other words, we bought for more and we sold for less. So in that case, our cost price, let's say, is somewhere here. So this is CP2, and this gap here is 20% of CP2. So now we have to find out the overall profit or loss percentage in the whole deal. So first we have to find out the overall profit or loss in terms of absolute rupees, and then we can find out the percentage. Now if 20% of CP2 is equal to 25% of CP1, then the addition of CP2 plus CP1 will be equal to the addition of SP1 and SP2. In other terms, we'll have a no profit no loss scenario, because this loss here for CP2 will be nullified by the profit here for CP1. So in that scenario, there will be a no profit no loss scenario. However, if the loss or the 20% of CP2 is bigger than the profit, that is 25% of CP1, then overall in the whole deal we'll have an overall loss. Whereas if 25% of CP1 is bigger than 20% of CP2, then in that case we'll have an overall profit. So let's calculate the amount which is 25% of CP1 and 20% of CP2 to then find out whether we are in an overall profit or loss situation. So here the overall selling price is equal to 4800 plus 4800, which is equal to 0 0, 8 plus 8 16, 1 carryover, 4 plus 4 8 plus 1 9, so 9600 rupees. Now if we know the overall cost price, then we can easily find profit or loss, and then we can easily also find the profit or loss percentage. So let's find the overall CP, which will be equal to CP1 plus CP2. So for the first deal, the selling price is equal to 4800 and profit is equal to 25%. Now we know that since here we have made a profit, our selling price is higher than the cost price. So profit is equal to the higher figure, which is selling price, minus the lower figure, which is the cost price. Now profit here is expressed in terms of percentage, so let's express this in terms of rupees. So 25% of cost price is equal to selling price minus cost price, or 25% of cost price is equal to selling price is 4800 minus cost price. So 25% becomes 25 by 100 multiplied by CP is equal to 4800 minus CP. So 25 divided by 100 will be 0.25 CP is equal to 4800 minus CP. So bringing CP here, 4800 is equal to 1 plus 0.25 times CP, or 4800 is equal to 1.25 CP. CP is equal to 4800 divided by 1.25, and 4800 divided by 1.25 is 3840. So this is 3840. Now let's take the second case. So in the second case, we have selling price is equal to 4800 and loss is equal to 20%. Now since we have made a loss here, what this means is that our cost price is bigger than the selling price. So loss is equal to the bigger value, which is cost price, minus the smaller value, which is the selling price. Now loss is 20% of cost price, and this is equal to CP minus SP. So this is 20 by 100 multiplied by CP, and this is equal to CP minus selling price is 4800. So 0.2 CP is equal to CP minus 4800. Now bringing this 4800 on the other side and 0.2 CP on this side. So CP minus 0.2 CP is equal to 4800. 1 minus 0.2 is 0.8. CP is equal to 4800, or CP is equal to 4800 divided by 0.8, which is equal to 6000 rupees. So CP1 is 3840 and CP2 is 6000. So our overall CP is equal to CP1 plus CP2, which is equal to 3840 plus 6000. So 0 plus 4 is 4, 8 plus 0 is 8, 6 plus 3 is 9. So our cost price is equal to 9840, and our overall selling price is 9600. So selling price is 9600. So of course our cost price is bigger than the selling price, so we have made a loss, and the loss is the difference between our cost price minus the selling price. So if we subtract 9600 from 9840, we'll get 0.4240 rupees. And now we have been asked to find the profit or loss percentage. So of course we have incurred a loss, and the loss percentage will be expressed in terms of the cost price. So loss percentage is equal to, so loss is 240, and we'll divide this by our overall cost price, which is 9840, and we'll multiply this by 100. So this is 2.44%. So our loss percentage is 2.44%. Now let's try to see what we started to understand here with this diagram. So our CP1 is 3840, and our CP2 is 6000. So the 25% of CP1, or the difference between 4800 and 3840, is 960. So this is 960, and the difference between CP2 and SP2, or 20% of CP2, is 6000 minus 4800, which is 1200 rupees. Now here we can see that the loss made in the second deal is bigger than the profit made in the first deal, and of course our sales price or the selling price for both the deals is the same. So overall we have made a loss of 1200 minus 960. So 1200 minus 960, so this is 4, and 11 minus 9 is 2. So 240 rupees is our loss, and that is what we found here as well. Now another interesting observation to be made here is the loss is 20% of CP, while the profit is 25% of CP. Now the loss percentage is smaller than the profit percentage, but the overall amount for the loss is bigger, because 20% of a bigger number can be bigger than 25% of a smaller number. So what this means is that sometimes you have to find out the absolute value in terms of rupees to do the actual comparison.